Hello, students. Uh, from today, we are going to start your literature part in English. And let me tell you that you have two books in your syllabus. The first one is The First Flight, another one is The Footprints Without Feet. And we are going to start the first chapter, A Letter to God, from the book First Flight. Okay, and this chapter is written by G.L. Fuentes, Gregorio Lopez y Fuentes. He was from Mexico, and he was a Mexican novelist and poet, and he was also a journalist. Many of his books are related to the civil conflict. Why civil conflict? Because most of his works were about the oppression of Native Americans. Rather, he was helping all those Americans who were fighting against Britisher at that time, and he helped them through his writing, through his works in American Revolution. His stories are such as exciting, humorous, and symbolic of Mexico. Okay, so this is a quite interesting story, A Letter to God, which he has written. So we can start now. This is very interesting line. They say faith can move mountains. Who has said this? The faith can move mountains. We all know that faith can do anything. Okay, this is people believe. This is the thing which we all believe, that faith can move mountains. But on whom this faith should be? On God. But what should we put faith in? This is the answer which we will get in this story. So this is the question this story delicately poses. And this story is about a farmer, Lanco. Lanco is a farmer who writes a letter to God when his crops are ruined, asking for 100 pesos. Does Lanco's letter reach God? So we are going to get answers of all these questions in this story. Does God send him the money? Okay, and alright, this is the activity. This is about the post office and all, and the money order by which we can send money. Many of you might have heard about the money order, and if you haven't heard about it, no issue, I will just give you a brief description about it. Money order is a kind of form which you can get in the post office, on which you can write here the amount of money which you want to send. Earlier there wasn't any electronic media, or even through banks. We have to submit the money in the bank, then only after a few days that money could be taken out by other person in his city. And this was also one of the process by which we could send the money. So here you can put the amount of the money, and here you can put the address whom you want to send. Here also the same amount of the money, and the postmaster and assistant can sign here. The receiver, how much the money is received over there, signature of payee, the person who want to send the money. Okay, and this is the acknowledgement, a kind of receipt. When that person will get that amount, then you will get the receipt. The person who will send the money, that person will get the receipt that money was sent to that person. Okay, and here also at the bottom there is a space for communication. You can also put some kind of message here to that person. Okay, so this was a kind of format to sending the money to money order. Okay, the story starts from here. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. So there was only one house in the entire valley. The valley, the hill, it was not very high, it was low. But on the top of the hill, the crest, the meaning of the crest is top of a hill. So on the top of the hill, there was only one house, and that house was of Lenko, the farmer. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. Okay, so from that top, from that height, the farmer can easily see his field, that how it looks. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lenko, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. So that field only required just at least a shower, just one shower, one rain, and then it would be ready to reap. So Lenko was thinking of it, and at that time he can see he was looking towards the northeast direction into the sky. Now we are really going to get some water movement, and he says to his wife that now they are getting some water from the sky. The woman who was preparing supper replied, she said, yes, God willing, because she said that God willing, if God wants, then only we will get. The older boys were working in the field, while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them all, come for dinner. So the older boys, the older son of farmer, they were working in the field, and the small ones, they were playing nearby the house. And when she called everybody for dinner, it was during the meal time, that just as Lenko had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall as Lenko predicted. Okay, so exactly in that manner it started raining. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. So from northeast direction, huge clouds were coming and were approaching towards his field. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And he wanted to feel that pleasant of the rain on his body. So he went outside and felt that rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, when he came back from there, he said, these aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5s. Why he said so? He said that, what he said that? He said that these raindrops are not just raindrops. These are like coins, new coins. Because when he'll get reaped his harvest, that harvest will be converted into money. When he'll sell that harvest, he'll get money. So he is imagining, okay, it's his imagination that this harvest will be converted into money very soon. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers, draped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. But suddenly what happened? A hailstorm was there. Okay? And hailstorm, these really did resemble new silver coins. This hailstorm was looking like really silver coins, or real silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. Those boys, they were very small. They all started playing with that hailstones. It's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. I hope it passes quickly. It did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white, as if covered with salt. But this farmer, he was not expecting this thing, and he never wanted such kind of hailstorm should ruin his entire field. And that hailstorm ruined his entire field, all the cornfield on the whole valley. It was just covered with the white color. The field was white, means it was entirely completely filled with those hailstones. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lenko's soul was filled with sadness, and he was so sad. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, when there wasn't any hailstorm, he went in the middle of his field, stood over there, and said to his sons, a plague of locusts would. So, what is locust? Insects which fly in big swarms, groups, and destroy crops. For number of times, you must have heard that insects in groups, they attack in the field and they destroy the complete crop. So that is the locust. He said that a plague of locusts would have left more than this. Even if such kind of locust would have attacked his field, might something have left over there. But this hailstorm has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. And that night was a sorrowful one. So his entire family, they were all feeling so sad. All our work for nothing. So he said that whatever the work which they had done, their hard work, now the result is zero. They have got nothing. And there's no one who can help us. And they were all in the whole valley. That was the only house. They did not have any neighbor. So there wasn't anybody who can help these people. We all go hungry this year. So he said that now this year we don't have anything to eat and we have to be hungry. We'll do these question answers in the next video. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, help from God. So in that solitary area, in that solitary house, they don't have anyone who can help these people, but they have just one hope, and that is hope from God. Don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger, but he has faith, he has complete faith on God. He said that, remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say, no one dies of hunger. Who say? Who has said this line, no one dies of hunger? Okay, this line is there in the Bible. And for a number of time, Jesus Christ helped number of hungry people. Okay, from one loaf he converted into lakhs of loaves, thousands of loaves. Okay, and he gave that loaf to those hungry people. Okay, so that is the hope Lenko had, and he said that God is here and he will never let us be hungry. So all through the night, Lenko thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything. So he has learned this thing, that God can see everything. Okay, we cannot hide anything from God. So that is why it is written here that as he had been instructed, as he had been told by everybody, that God can see anything. Even what is deep in one's conscience, God can also see your heart, your mind. God can read your mind. God can see what are you thinking, what is there, what have you hidden in your heart. So God can also read your conscience. Lenko was an ox of a man. So Lenko was like an ox, okay, working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to write. He was a literate. The following Sunday, at daybreak, he began to write a letter, which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. So, on that Sunday, he has written a letter to God, and which he wanted to mail. So that is why he went to the town. God, he wrote. So what was there in that letter? He has written here that if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes. Because the hailstorm, and it continued. Okay. So he wanted help from God, and he said that to feed his family for entire year and also to sow the field again, he needed how much money? That is 100 pesos, and this money he wanted from God. So that is why he had written this letter to God, and he wrote to God on the envelope, put the letter inside, and still trouble, went to town. Okay, when he had written this, and when he put that letter inside the envelope, but he had doubt, he had some doubt. That is why it is written here, still troubled. So he had some doubt. So at the post office, that is why he went to town, and at the post office he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. So that is why, to purchase this stamp, he went to the town, and he got that stamp and pasted it on the envelope, and then dropped it into the mailbox. So one of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. And that postman, he was laughing. He was thinking that which fool has written this letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address, and he said that I have never went to this place because I have never got such kind of letter in my entire life. The postmaster, a fat, amiable means friendly, pleasant fellow. So this postmaster, he was amiable man, okay, he was pleasant, friendly man, fellow, also broke out laughing. He also laughed that what kind of a stupid man, he has written this letter to God. But almost immediately he turned serious, and tapping the letter on his desk, when he put that letter on his desk, he became serious, commented. He said, what faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter. Then he understood that what kind of faith this man had. And he thought that why I don't have this much of faith in the God. I also want such kind of faith in God. Starting up a correspondence with God. Amazing. What kind of faith this man has, that he started correspondence with God. So, in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. And at that time, postmaster thought about an idea that we should not break his faith. And what he said, that answer the letter. He decided to answer the letter. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer it he needed something more than goodwill. But when he opened it, he got to know that he just not want any kind of answer from God. He also wants some kind of money. So it is more than goodwill. Goodwill, ink and paper. But he stuck to his resolution. But he already decided that he did not want his faith to be broken. So he asked for money from his employees. He also asked his friends. He himself gave part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. So he has taken number of helps from his employees and from his friends, and they all get collected some amount of money. It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos, but it was impossible for him to collect this much of amount, 100 pesos. So he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. So they were only able to send some little more than half, means more than 50 pesos. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lanko, and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature, God. So postmaster hasn't written anything in that letter. He has just put one signature over there, God, and put that money. The following Sunday, Lanko came a bit earlier. Again, on the next Sunday, Lanko came, but now this time he came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster. So this time it was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster was sitting behind, and he was experiencing that what would he say? The contentment of a man who has performed a good deed looked on from his office. So he was thinking satisfaction. Contentment means satisfaction. So he was thinking that after getting this money, Lanko must be very thankful to God, and might be this time he was reading some kind of thankful letter to God. Lanko showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money, but he was not at all surprised after getting that money. Such was his confidence. So such thing, such behavior also shows the kind of confidence. But he became angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lanko what he had requested. And look what kind of confidence he has. He said that God cannot make mistake while sending money. God must have sent me that 100 pesos. But definitely these people must have done something wrong. Nor could he have denied Lanko what he had requested. God cannot make any mistake in counting. Okay, neither he cannot we cannot say that he does not have this much of money, so that he won't send this much of money, because God is powerful and God has everything. Okay, so that is why he says that nor could he have denied Lanko what he had requested. So immediately Lanko went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. On the public writing table, he started to write, with much wrinkling of his brow, caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. So again he has written this letter to God, and he bought that stamp and fixed on the envelope. Now this time, the moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. And now this time postmaster was there to receive that letter. He opened the letter, and it was written there, God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. So only he has received 70 pesos. Send me the rest, since I need it very much. But don't send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks, Lanko. Okay. So this is the chapter here. what he has written, that those people who all helped him, so he blamed on those people that they have taken the rest of the money. Okay, this is because that he has confidence on God, he has complete faith on God, that God will definitely listen his prayer and he cannot deny him. So that is why he has written such kind of letter. And here also I believe that when postmaster had when he had read this letter, he must be feeling quite happy for this man, and he might have helped him with the rest of the money. Okay, I believe children, you must have you must understood this chapter. Okay, in the next video I will continue with the question and answers. Thank you.